lost about 30 points from top of the day. So let's get the intraday chart up for you on your screen. So the rally is just fizzling out very marginally. Keep your eye on Bajaj Finance. That's in the red now. Reliance Industries too has dipped a tad bit from the high point. But again, not too much. Still holding on 200 points plus gain on the Nifty. Concor is a stock which is on our radar. They are expected to benefit from the commissioning of the dedicated corridor. To discuss this, we're now joined by V. Kalyan Ram, the CMD of the company. Good afternoon. Before we get to the dedicated freight corridor and the kind of benefit, I was just reading the data put out by the Indian Ports Association on the cargo volume for the month of February, where the suggestion is that there could be a slowdown in activity. For instance, they say the container volume in February stands at 4% versus an average of 10% in the prior 11 months, or FY19 so far year to date. If I break it up, EXIM volume for Feb is at 7% versus an average of 11% in the prior few months, and domestic growth has actually declined by 8%. If you could just provide us a situation on the ground for your company and the industry in the last 2 or 3 months. Has there been a slowdown, sir?
You see, yeah, export-import, there is a little slowdown now. But March now, the forecast is maybe from the second fortnight of March, the things may improve.
Okay, when you say slowdown,
that's the forecast. Otherwise, you see, we will be ending our year as we forecasted. I gave a forecast of 10 to 12% growth. I am sure that we will be able to achieve that.
Okay, but why do you see a recovery in the second half of March? Is it just the normal year-ending pressures?
It is, yes. Year-ending, everybody wants to complete their target. So people start exporting to meet their financial targets, export targets, and also imports. Some pending imports, they will complete it. And moreover, there was effect of, the Chinese New Year happened. So the volumes on the Indian shores were less. Now that Chinese New Year, after that, the shipment started and they will be arriving onto our ports in the second fortnight of March.
Okay. No, I mean, domestic volumes have declined by 8%. That looks a little scary. What's your sense of over the next, say, 2 quarters? We hear of a lot of noise of global slowdown as well, whether it is Europe or China. So do you think this EXIM volumes slowdown will continue to remain a problem?
See, I can't do any guesswork on this right now. I don't think that is really a concern as of now for us.
Okay.
But we are also watching. Once the new government forms, let's see.
Okay, you spoke about some slowdown in EXIM volumes.
Domestic volumes are asking.
Yes. Please go ahead.
No. See, EXIM volumes I already talked about. I talked about EXIM volumes. EXIM volumes, as I told you, this year we are comfortable. We will be ending with our forecast, whatever we have given in the beginning of the year. As far as domestic volumes are concerned, domestic business is good. Domestic, there is no such worry in the domestic volumes. Okay, this little bit of sinusoidal wave curve go on, that sometimes increase, sometimes decrease. But overall business is increasing in domestic in containerization.
Okay.
I was looking at your last quarter's numbers, and there was a capacity utilization drop in the month of November and December. What has been the situation in January, February and March so far in terms of capacity utilization?
The present, let's wait for the results, see, but otherwise things are normal, as I already given the overall indication for the year. There is absolutely, we are not idling any of our assets, that as much I can assure you. All our assets are being utilized and we are adding on continuously rakes. This year we added already almost 15 rakes. So absolutely all are being utilized.
Okay. All right, now can we shift to the dedicated freight corridor? Can you give an update on how much is completed?
See, dedicated freight corridor, I think as far as what I am getting the forecast is, by the end of this year, Mundra and Pipavav will get connected up to Kathuwas.
Okay.
Beyond Kathuwas, it will take time to connect Delhi, Dadri. But up to Katwas it will get connected. That will give a lot of advantage to us.
Okay.
You see, in dedicated freight corridor, as we were discussing earlier also, the time schedules will be maintained and a heavier axle load can move. And we are already on the almost on track, and we are releasing orders to wagon manufacturers for manufacturing heavy duty wagons. So these wagons, once they come, they can carry 25-ton axle load. That gives a lot of advantage in making double stack. So the double stack combinations will go up.
Okay.
So that is advantageous. And we are completely operational at our Katwas so that we can handle these volumes very easily.
Okay.
This benefit will come through in FY20, or do you think it will be in FY21 or even later than that? And do you expect competition to increase once the dedicated freight corridor is up and running? Maybe more private players will enter the business?
I could not get you. More private players will come in, new private players.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Do you
what
see
you're asking.
increased competition once the dedicated freight corridor is completed? And secondly, the timeline, by when will it benefit the company's revenues? Will it happen in FY20 till Katwar, as you're saying, will be up and running, or will the benefit happen in FY21?
You see, real benefit will come in FY 2021 because 1920 now at the end of 19, if the ports get connected, the real benefit starts from the FY 2021. But whereas the competition, if you look at, see, real competition to conquer is road. And with the dedicated freight corridor, we will be able to get more share converted to rail from road.
Okay.
So it's beneficial for us
Okay.
rather than, competition increasing.
All right. Mr. Kalyanarama, can you give us an idea of how much better it gets? I mean, how much does revenue grow after the dedicated freight corridor? How much may margins improve? Can we have a ballpark? See, after all, your stock investors, long-term investors have to gauge what are your FY20 earnings and 21 earnings. So throw some number at us.
You see, what actually it gives is the double stack today we are doing with 61 tons to 67 tons that can go up to 80 tons. Once it goes, the combination increases. In double stack, the margin, if whatever containers I am moving in single stack, if I can put them onto double stack, the margin increase will be around 5 to 6%.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you're looking
Now,
at...
JNPT, even though it is not connected, let me tell you another important point, which is very interesting for the long-term investors. See, JNPT, connecting to JNPT for the dedicated freight corridor may take little more time. But we are connecting JNPT via Ahmedabad. We got a place called Jekwada. We are bringing a single stack there. There we are doing double stack and bringing it to Katwas. So in JNPT containers also we are putting them onto double stack today also. But that combinations will further increase with the 25-ton axle load.
Okay.
So that will increase the margins, definitely.
Okay.
Coming back to the road versus rail argument, fuel prices are off.
And one more thing.
Go ahead, sir.
Let me add one more thing here. Regarding the volumes. See, this northwest corridor accounts for 40% of volumes what we carry. So this year we will be doing around 4 million TUs. So 1 million TUs we handle in this corridor. So this, once dedicated freight corridor comes, we can roughly estimate around 25% increase in these volumes. So there will be an addition of 6 to 8% of total volumes because of dedicated freight corridor.
Okay.
So that's very helpful to know. I just wanted to come back finally to the road versus rail argument. Fuel prices are off their record high, and therefore have you seen traffic move away from rail to the road? What is the split right now in terms of market share of road versus rail, and what was it, say, a year ago?
No, there is not much of shift. See, road versus rail, out of the targeted containers, if I look at rail share is around 40% today. Even last year it is same. See, when we are able to see the growth of around 10% with the growth, what is happening in port also in almost the same number, there is no shift happening between road and rail. So people are committed to rail, and this will increase with the dedicated freight corridor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Kalyan Rama, we will leave it at that. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much for joining us. Probably the completion of the corridor is something we will look forward to, and touch base with you yet again, of course, after your numbers, your full year numbers. With that, we shift to the markets yet again to get some trading strategies and a market check. Market still going strong with the advanced declines at over 2 stocks in the green for 1 in the red. Rajat Bose and Prakash Gaba with us to give us noon strategies. Good afternoon, gentlemen. First to you, Prakash. Well, you know, we are standing at 11,275. Your target was 11,265.
285.
Okay, so you are still holding your longs, or
I'll be out.
You're out
taking
now?
money out because it's run up so fast, right? From 10,800 to 11,300. It's run up around 300 points in just 6 trading sessions. So I think if you don't take the money here, where do you have nobody else to blame. Take money off. Worst comes to worst, you will lose the extra profit, but at least you got the money.
Okay, and which stocks would you trade?
I have 2 stocks. Best is to be stock specific. 2 stocks here, I like it. One is IndusInd Bank. The move has just started. When a move starts, that means there is an upside here onwards. I would say that yes, it can climb to levels closer to 1570 to even 1600 zones in the days to come. So IndusInd Bank is going up. Stop below 1530 should be okay. And second is Maruti. I like Maruti. Good base formation here. Consolidation got over. Yesterday the move started. Today is continuing. I think it's further 7,300 to 7,400. Stop below 7,125.
Rajat is also here with us on the show. Rajat, are you bullish at these levels? What would be the Nifty trade and your trading ideas?
You see, Nifty is plateauing out, and the kind of movement that I've seen over the last 45 minutes that suggests that possibly there could be some profit taking during the second half of this trading day. While I would say that if you have to go long, you can still go long, assuming that the gap between say 11,227 and 11,168, that is yesterday's close and today's low, yesterday's high and today's low. If that is not filled, the bullishness still remains. In that case, 11,365 remains the target, and above that, of course, is 11,404 or so. But I would suggest that at least get some better advanced declines, see some good swing happening in some of the stocks like Reliance. It should cross 1330 and stay above that to suggest that the momentum continues. Else, what I have seen is this, that a lot of stocks, they have gone up initially quite a bit, and now they are down even from the levels that they opened. Maybe an exception could be an IndusInd Bank or a Concord that you were discussing a little earlier. But most of the stocks are suggesting that there are problems, especially, say, Bajaj Finance, and a whole host of stocks are looking pretty weak, especially in the banking sector. PSU banks were doing very well in the morning, and now they're sort of declining. So given that, in my perspective, I would say that I'm actually bullish on IndusInd Bank. I would put a stop loss below 1529.75, and my targets would be 1556 and 1562. And Allahabad Bank March futures I want to sell, and I would sell with a stop above 54.50, and currently it is around 53. My targets would be 50.80 and 49.50. From 35 to 56, it was a big run. Now there is likely to be some good correction. Take Allahabad Bank, take Oriental Bank, take Canara Bank, all of them are looking pretty weak. IndusInd Bank, of course, is an exception, and we have given, both of us have given a buy there.
I noticed that both of you have homed in on IndusInd Bank. Well, before I let you go, Prakash, Talwalkar Lifestyle is showing a lot of activity. Today up 3.25%. This week, I mean, if you take both the days, it's up about 8%. Any trade?
Yeah, Talwalkar, I think I like the stock here. I think it's heading to levels close to 55 to 58 zone. Good base formation. It corrected for around 3 weeks or so. And the up move is assumed. I would have a tight stop below 45 or 44.50 and trade long here. Yes, there is an up move in Talwalkar. Certainly looking good to me.
Okay. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us with your trading strategies at noon.